Hey everyone, Desiree here with Honeysuckle Homestead Retreat. I'm actually about to head back to Atlanta, but before I do, I'm going to winterize my tiny home. So when I purchased my tiny home from Incredible Tiny Homes, I was told that if my house was going to be in a cold climate, that I would have to winterize it for the winter. So that means I'm going to be blowing out the rest of the water in my water lines with an air compressor. And I'm also going to put a little bit of RV antifreeze down the drains, just in case there's any water left behind in the water catchment, let's say under the sink, that could potentially freeze and burst my drain pipes as well. So if I were living in my tiny home, I wouldn't have to do any of this because I would be keeping the house warm, which would then keep my pipes warm and I wouldn't have to worry about freezing. But since I'm going to be gone for about an entire month during a very cold part of the winter, I'm going to go ahead and winterize it. Now, in the area that my tiny home is at, it drops well below freezing. So even though my pipes are insulated, it could actually get cold enough long enough here to get my pipes cold enough long enough that would cause the water in them to freeze. So I'm just taking an extra precaution by blowing out the lines and also by putting the RV antifreeze in my pipes. So let's do this. All right, this is my Dewalt Air Compressor with the 6-pound tank. Brand new out of the box. This is actually my first time using it. I had to read the directions on how to use an air compressor because I've never used one before. And this right here is an adapter to connect to my tiny house. I have an RV water inlet for my tiny house, so I had to get this adapter to connect to the inlet and then connect to the air pressure hose. Okay, so now I have turned on the air compressor and I'm letting the pressure build inside of the tank. The little dial on the left is showing the pressure building in the tank. The dial on the right controls the pressure that goes into the hose. You have to put that in the off or zero position until the pressure builds up into the tank, which it has done here. So now I'm turning the dial to 40 psi. You don't want it to be any higher than that if you're blowing out water lines in your house because you don't want to damage the water lines in any kind of way. So now I've opened up the water faucet in my kitchen. This is the cold water coming through right now, the cold water line. Honestly, more water came out of here than I expected. So I wasn't really sure how long to keep it blowing out, and I ended up moving it into the hot water line, so I'm blowing out the hot water line now. There's no way you're going to get every single drop of water out of your water lines. Just going to tell you that right now. So the important thing is to get most of it out. I also had to do the shower as well, so I started with the shower. I actually started with the hot water. I turned it all the way over to the left to get all the hot water lines out. And then I turned it to the right here to get the cold water out. And the last water that I had to make sure was clear was my outside faucet. It really didn't have much in it. Just a few drips. I opened it up all the way to make sure. You just want to make sure you get most of the water out. After I did that, you have to get all the air out of the air compressor. There's a release valve right here. You pull on it, and it actually scared me. It came out with more force than I was expecting at the time. I kept releasing it bit by bit until it was down to about 20 psi. And then what you have to do is there's another release lever on the side of the tank, which is for an opening on the bottom of the tank. You have to release this when there's about 20 or so PSI left in the tank so that it blows out the rest of the air through the bottom and gets any water out that may have condensed inside of the tank. You don't want to leave that air or water in the tank because it can cause the tank to rust. So it would shorten the lifespan of the tank. And then I just pulled this valve a few more times just to make sure there wasn't any more that I needed to get out. And we're done. Okay, now it's time to put the RV antifreeze down the drains. I wasn't really sure how much to put down there. It was my first time doing this as well. But from what I understand is you're just trying to prevent the water that might be left over in the sink trap from freezing. I also poured some down the shower drain as well. And yeah, and that's it. My tiny house is now officially winterized. Before I go, I just wanted to say Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you so much for watching my show. I know that without you guys, I wouldn't have a channel at all. Thank you especially to my personal friends and family that encouraged me to start this channel. And thank you to my friends and family for watching. I know this might not be an interest to all of my friends and family, but I do appreciate every one of you, including people that I don't know. Thank you guys for your support. And hopefully this channel will grow and grow and grow, and we'll get more subscribers. So that's all left to be seen. But I am so grateful for you guys. Thank you so much for subscribing and hitting the notification bell and liking all of my videos. So that is all very much appreciated. I have so much to be thankful for this Thanksgiving, and I hope you do too. Whatever you are thankful for, now is the time to really express your gratitude and be like, you know what? I am so grateful for this in my life. And you guys, I'm grateful for you guys. I'm grateful for the internet, strangely enough. I guess it's not that strange, but I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for my homestead that I have. I'm grateful for my family and my friends and my new friends, my new subscribers that I don't know. I'm grateful for you too. So, thank you so much. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving.